Hi, I'm Robert Murphy, an economist with a PhD in economics from New York University. I spent several years in academia where my work focused on the so-called Austrian School of Economics, and then I moved to the financial sector. Currently I'm a consultant and I do lots of work with various free market think tanks, and primarily my job consists of breaking down current government policy in terms that the average American can understand. Now, back when the financial crisis was first kicking in 2008, I became acquainted with Carlos Lara, a local businessman who also lived in Nashville, and it was Carlos who actually introduced me to the work of Nelson Nash and his so-called infinite banking concept, as he explains in his classic text, Becoming Your Own Banker. So the gist of Nash's viewpoint was that Americans were needlessly redirecting huge amounts of interest payments to outside lenders, when in fact, if they just changed their financial approach, they could redirect those flows back into their own households by setting up their own bank, if you will, in a dividend-paying whole life insurance policy. Now, this surprised me at first because, of course, this flies in the face of what the financial gurus will tell Americans they should be doing with their money. It seems like the worst thing in the world you should do is put your money into life insurance. That's what everybody tells us. But yet, the more I studied it, the more I realized that Nash's viewpoint made perfect sense. So much so, in fact, that together Carlos and I co-authored this book, How Privatized Banking Really Works. And here we tried to marry the insights of Nelson Nash's IBC with the broader Austrian School of Economics. In particular, we showed that the Austrians, who had been warning Americans of the dangers of having government get involved in money and banking, that their perspective actually could help become achieved not by marching on Washington, but in fact one household at a time by people implementing Nash's IBC, infinite banking concept. That this was a way you could effectively have privatized banking within your own household by using Nelson's ideas. Now, to help bring these messages to the public, the Infinite Banking Institute was formed in late 2012. Carlos Lara, I, Nelson Nash, and David Stearns together created the Practitioners Program, which was part of the IBI, and its function is to educate financial professionals in how to best understand IBC, but also to deliver it to their clients, whether the professional be an accountant, an insurance professional, or some other person involved in the financial sector. Now, in this series of videos, I'm going to be explaining to you, as well as some of the other members of the IBI, the essence of Nelson Nash's infinite banking concept. I'm going to try to show you the economics behind it so it makes sense to you. But of course, none of this is going to be a substitute for you to do the actual reading of Nelson's book and Carlos and my book, respectively. The last thing I want to emphasize is that if you do find these ideas intriguing, after you conduct your own research, obviously the next step is for you to go find a financial professional who can help take these abstract ideas and put them in terms of your own household plan based on your individual circumstances. So if you do find yourself at that stage, I strongly encourage that you find a financial professional who is listed on the practitioner finder located at the IBI website. So what these people have done is gone through our training process, have passed an exam that we created to ensure that they understand the essentials of both Austrian economics and Nelson Nash's infinite banking concept the way he conceives it and understands it. And what's equally important, they have agreed contractually with us that if any client comes to them through the practitioner finder, then they're going to set that person up with the dividend-paying whole life policy the way that Nelson Nash thinks they should be designed. So this is our way of trying to ensure that people who come on board because of our outreach efforts actually end up with the type of policy that does the sort of thing that Nelson Nash is talking about in his book. So obviously we can't speak for what other people are doing. For all we know, they're doing a great job, but the point is, if you are persuaded by our efforts, by our books and videos, then we strongly encourage you to deal with a financial professional who is listed on the practitioner finder at the IBI website. Thanks, everybody. This has been Robert Murphy.